Hello and welcome back to Friday Minis. Today, let's talk about frame servers. This is a term that we don't hear all that often, but as it turns out, it's something very useful if you ever, do anything with video. I think there's no better way to understand this concept than to liken it to a web server. I mean, we use web services so often, right? So hopefully this analogy holds true. Here's the deal. The simplest web server is just a machine somewhere on the internet. You ask it for web pages and it gives you web pages. That's it. So a frame server is basically the same thing. Again, it is a machine or a piece of software. The idea is, you can ask it for images, write frames of a video, and it gives you the frame. Simple as that. Certain video editors and video players can act as frame clients. So they are able to connect to a frame server and basically request for images and display them as a video. That is basically the idea. There can be several reasons why we want to do that. Firstly, you may want to have a particular video source that is shared among, a few different programs. Well, having it as a frame server is the most convenient way to do so. Usually, if it's a single file on its own, you may have some difficulty having it open in multiple programs, especially if these programs try to modify the file. Another way you could use a frame server is when you're doing live streaming of some kind. Since this is streaming, there is no file to get from. That's why you need some software that other software can connect to access or do whatever to the video, right? Including record it. I mean, a video recording software could also act as a frame client, right? It'll take in frames coming from a frame server and write them to disk. That's one possible use case as well. However, what's more special about this is frame servers can be dynamic, just like how web servers can be dynamic. Again, going back to the web server analogy, let's say you go to Facebook. Different people going to Facebook are getting different things, right? They're seeing their own timeline. And depending on the request that's coming in, depending on who you are, they would basically scramble to construct a new page and send it to you. In other words, you are seeing a personalized page, specifically constructed for you. In order for this to happen, your web server needs to have some kind of smarts. It's no longer just, a basic machine that is a file storage system. Instead, it must run some logic. It must have some code running. It must be able to make decisions, perform algorithms, and so on. As it turns out, a frame server is similar in that regard. Instead of simply serving up images, a frame server can also do things like filter the image or do some other kinds of processing before the image is actually passed on to you. What this means is you could code up a frame server such that it does some kind of manipulation. It can even generate more frames as required, or it could transform your existing frame to something completely different. And at the end of the day, your frame client, which is working in the exact same way as it was working before, is going to get a very different frame, right? It's going to get a very different image coming back. One popular frame server software that is actually powered by scripting is AVI Synth. Now, that's something we haven't really talked about before on this channel, but AVI Synth is actually extremely powerful because what you can do is you can write a script, it will actually modify up a video in real time, and you can just open the AVI Synth script in a video editor of your choice. The process of decoding that script involves making a connection somehow to the frame server, which is also running on your computer, and it fetches the modified frames. So you're basically seeing a filtered version of your video running in real time. So very interesting concept. I'm in the process of taking a look at AVI Synth and seeing what other things I could do with it. And hopefully we'll have a video up on that soon if I figure things out. Anyway, that's all there is for this episode of Friday Minis. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV with NERDfirst.net. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my work and are feeling generous, you can shoot me a one-time donation on PayPal or sign up for a recurring one on Patreon. Of course, you can simply like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. For more videos, links to my channel and a related playlist are on screen. Thank you for your support.